hope you understand what I'm saying.
All right, good morning. Good to be here once again this beautiful Thursday morning. My name is Yinka Kenny. This morning I'm going to start on the note of the insecurity in the land all over Nigeria. Yes, we know that presently the world all over is going through one thing or the other in form of insecurity, in form of inflation in prices of goods and services all over. We know that it's a global problem that is affecting the world as a whole. But we are here in Nigeria, and the issue of the insurgency in Nigeria is almost seem to be almost out of hand. And at times you want to wonder what the body language of the those at the helm of affairs are, or the presidency. You want to ask yourself some questions if the presidency is lost of ideas or is short of what solutions to all of this. How did we find ourselves here? Do we go from here? Do we just begin to sit and watch and fold our hands and allow things to continue to deteriorate on a daily basis? Or is there any solution? Unfortunately, the Assistant Inspector General of Police was attacked yesterday, and one of his aides, was affected. Welcome back. We do apologize for that abrupt break in transmission. All right, I was talking about the attack on the AIG yesterday, and one of his aides being affected. How do we go on from here when those even at the top of the security, those that are manning the security affairs, even at the top level, are prone to attack and are being kidnapped, are being killed, are being a lot of things happening? What happens to the layman on the street? What happens to the man that does not even have anything whatsoever to defend himself. That is where we find ourselves. In the recent times, the experts, they have been canvassing that we should be security conscious, that the fight against insecurity in the country starts with everybody, every individual, yourself and myself. They have been conversing that we should be wary of the people around us. We should be wary of the house helps we do have, our domestic staff, our drivers, our gardeners, our chef, and all the people around. All the people around us. We should be careful about the people we bring into our closure. And also, they talk about not letting out too much of confidential matters, because at times we get too comfortable with our domestic staff and we open up so much onto them, thereby bringing out confidential issues that will make we being prone to attack. So, well, we will do all of that, but then we still will call on the government to please be on top of their game, because at the end of the day, the layman on the streets do not have anything, some sort of ammunition to defend him or ourselves. So there's nothing we have to do. Yesterday, well, the Senate met with the service chief. We're going to be looking at that during the course of the program. But first off, let us see what we have in the papers. And analyzing the paper with me this morning is an elder statesman in the studio, Elder Fatunke. Let me leave the Mr. out of it. Elder Fatunke. He's a public affairs analyst.
Thank you very much, Kenny. It's a pleasure to be here. Say good morning, Nigerians.
Thank you for coming on to the show this morning. It's insecurity, and I'm sure that the papers they are going to have so many of that this morning. I just hope we keep hoping, we keep praying that someday, sometime, we will wake up and see all over the newspapers good news.
I am hoping we will get to that stage, but right now we are virtually at the trenches. Things are not, the forebodings are bad. Hopefully, with all hands on deck, we will get a sun to rise again in the horizon of Nigeria.
By the grace of God. Okay, this morning I begin with the Nigerian Tribune, and the Nigerian Tribune is having the lead story. Amid outrage, federal government justifies 1.145 billion naira vehicle purchase for Niger Republic. And that's something I really want us to talk about. It's a news that it's a lot of Nigerians they are angry out there. You cannot say your house is on fire and you looking at the fire in your own house, you go to put off the fire in someone else's house. Is there wisdom in all of that?
I like to say that yes, even at the risk of sounding incongruous, discordant, unmelodious in the ears of Nigerians, may I ask humbly to my fellow citizens of Nigeria, please, let's calm down. Let's calm down a little bit. When you have situations like this, it's like being in a marshland. And you know, when you go a marshland, if you keep on struggling and getting annoyed in a marshland, the more you sink. So while we look at the issues and analyze them, in the first place, I am one with majority of Nigerians, if not close to about 99% of Nigerians, that there are questions to be asked as regards prioritization. Yes, we've been told that they were for security concerns.
Yeah, as in because they are neighboring, it's one of our neighboring countries that they need to help them to beef up their security.
If truth must be told, we cannot fault that. The pilot directing first captain, second lieutenant, sees all the appurtenances, and he or she decides whether we are going to go in there and crash or not. So let's give it out there. That is number one. Number two is the fact that our dear country, Nigeria, has also benefited immensely from things like this, in terms of, okay, this is what you need to secure, this is what you need to educate, this is what you need to help, this is during the COVID thing. So aid across borders is a legitimate thing. Again, on the positive side, if you took
But let me allow you.
If you took a look at the geographical mapping of the contagious nature of the Nigerian state, right from the Sokoto end towards the northeast Maiduguri, is such a vast area of land that is porous. And if we are going to be fighting insecurity, we must make sure that things are happening in fast track. Otherwise, we will be overexposed and will go down. So again, that is another positive. However, the challenge and the question for me as an accountant and as somebody who has gone to school is to now then say, at what cost do we want to do that vis-a-vis the yawning gap of so many things that we have internally in terms of a student out of school, health management not in place, and stuff like that. I have a challenge to see that on average, if you did a simple computation, the SUV cars, about 10 or how many of them that we have in there, is going to cost about 450 million naira. And I begin to now ask these questions: at what point in time have we sat down to think through? Is that what needs to have been done at that level of luxury when we are hungry at home,
wallowing in debt,
when our debts, because all this money is part of debt that we cannot service? Could we not have gotten much more functional vehicles that needs to help us resolve the same issue and the same problem? What kind of message are we sending to Niger? Oh, Nigeria is full of money.
It's a land with milk and honey.
I do not see the sense in that. Secondly, when you manufacture and you buy, it's all part of your GDP, making sure your manufacturer, outfits are going on fine. When you have people and capacity that can do it in-house, I know since Motors is capable of delivering.
Exactly. That is part of the argument of a lot of Nigerians.
Functional, and then there is this other Chinese assembly plant that have come to Nigeria, so you just leave them there, and then a hard-earned currency to bring in these luxury cars for security. Is it luxury cars you need for security at that level? Get me right. Yes, it's needed. Yes, we should do it. Yes, might be in international relations is part of our under the table to bribe people.
So what you are saying in short is that we are putting the cart before the horse.
we are even putting the cat under the horse.
Oh.
So, and that makes it, that kind of makes it worse. For me, again, from the financial management perspective, I expect that this will have been budgeted for, otherwise you can't appropriate it. I believe so. And so if it's a part of the budget and in accordance to what Ms. Zainab said,
Ahmed.
it's the prerogative of Mr. President to decide that this is what I want to do, and this is how I want to do it. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
But Nigerians also have the right to question the presidency, because we are in democracy.
But I challenge the situation. It's hard, I tell you, but I tell you the situation where we all say the king does no wrong. This is one of those examples that I think we needed to have reined in, Mr. President, and take a decision. Beyond all that, Madam Kenny, is the fact that it is knocking the fears that a lot of people have about ensuring that the wealth of Nigeria is being transferred to cousins that we have opened our neighbors into and who have not helped in no small way to the security concerns that we have in Nigeria. So if the rail is not going to N'Djamena, we are talking of luxury vehicles that will be going through the Gamboru. If you knew that terrain, you know that what you actually need is a 4x4 solid, boisterous cars that can do fit for purpose. And we have engineers in Nigeria. I just talked about innocents that will have been able to do that for free. So at what cost is the quantum of the quote-unquote benefits that we are thinking about to have borrowed so extensively to decide we are going to put a rail line to the place? Also, that one has its own positive advantage, might be. But at what point in time are you doing that when you have really not been able to cover your own network back in Nigeria? Are you therefore putting the cart before the horse? Or like what we are now seeing, you just decide that the cart must be under the horse to delay the horse from moving?
Or do we say that
or move backwards?
Or do we say that the presidency is not well informed about the situations we have at hand presently?
It looks like a kind of insensitivity, I don't care kind of posture. Yeah, as the captain of the ship, you know, like most likely that those at the back of the cabin will have no idea what you are trying to, avert. But you need to communicate, you need to communicate, you need to communicate. Otherwise, by the time you are taking a detour, some people might just decide that they are going to try and fly off the windows. And what have you been able to succeed? I think in my mind, there's just one word that I can use. It's not a very palatable word, but when you have captains of ship of states behaving the way that we seem to be behaving, and with due respect, I think it's marks of high-level incompetence, I must say, because if you don't have your people behind you, the next thing that they don't have an understanding, they feel that you are selling them out. Even tips of security that they needed to have given to you, they say, look, I don't give it to these people. I don't think they even know what they are doing. And at the end of the day, because they are feeding large and they are living large, when a lot of us are in abject penury, when the kind of wanton stealing that we hear and see on a regular daily basis, when there's a lot of smuggling and leakages in the system, they are smiling to the banks. Their children are being educated,
in foreign countries,
and their health is being taken care of at the expense of state. So why should they not be just thinking of giving goods? Giving goods are luxury goods, you know, the economics God given. If it will cost me 1 naira to live well, sleep well, eat well, get secured, be happy, get people around me, empower people, why then do I need 10 naira to spend for the same thing, when spending that 10 naira might attract unintended consequences to me and might shorten my life?
All right, let's hold it there and see what we have other stories we have in the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Aregbesola liability to Osun APC. Youth wing, they are misguided, need to amend their errant ways that are coming from Aregbesola's age this morning. Let me just go through the paper, then we'll pick one or two to talk about. Again, Senate meets with service chiefs over rising insecurity. Suspected bandits hideout dismantled in Abuja. Nans to activate Adamu must go protest. And federal government okays development of $2.59 billion Badagry deep sea port. PDP BOT, that's the Board of Trustees, raises committee to end Wike Atiku field. Protesters besiege PDP Secretariat, call for Ayu's resignation. And below the name bed we have Adela Bupek's Accord Google ticket in Oyo State. And NBC finds DSTV, Trust TV, TSTV 5 million naira each. That's embassy is giving a fine to DSTV, Trust TV, TSTV 5 million naira each. I think it's on a documentary on the banditry situation. We'll come back to that also. And police beef up intelligence security in Ekiti border towns. Above the nameplates, we have students protest as kidnappers kill abducted Lautech student Otelia after payment of 5 million naira ransom. And gunmen kill journalist's father, abduct 2 others in Kaduna. And how bandits ambushed convoy, injured AIG, killed orderly in Bauchi. Honestly, I at times I just look at it and I wonder where we go from here. Let's look at a little bit of politics now. The Wike Atiku field. This has been going on, for a long period of time. PDP is almost not finding it difficult to put its house in order.
And that is not difficult to appreciate and understand. In this day and time, politics is a game of who gets what, where, and when. I am talking about that quotation from Harold Lasky. Battle of long knives. And so it is me, myself, and I at the end of the day, and not necessarily the interests and the welfare of the larger majority. We saw this coming. We had thought that Governor Nelson Wike would have been placated. I think needed to have been placated. I think attempts have been made to placate him. He feels cheated. He also felt for all what it takes after spending his resources, his time, he's been the last man standing, and every other person now then comes to see the house that he has held, and then to now be treated in
Do you not think it's some sort of entitlement feeling?
And that's why I said politics is who takes what, how and when. And then you now then come and against all the grains of those logic and recommendation that he who came second after being stabbed by his tribesmen, and then treated the cavalier way he was treated. I think somehow when Wike's money was being used, when his resources was being utilized, he was a good man. And now that that is no more there, it suddenly becomes a bad man. The flip side of it, of course, is that sometimes you want to be a statesman. You stoop to conquer sometimes. And that is where ideology and morality comes in. They say he will fall and fail yesterday and today, he could rise and rise again despite all the shenanigans. So we've gotten into what we call a cul-de-sac of sorts. And please do not let us deceive one another. As it is happening in PDP, it's also happening
in APC.
In Labour, it's also happening in APC, it's also happening in many different places. And the ability to be able to juggle this together, we are all humans, kind of matter. My prescription is that at all points in time, let us be true, let us be fair, let us be equitable, let us respect internal democracy. No matter whose ox at the end of the day
is going
to be God.
Okay. All right. Quickly before I leave Nigerian Tribune this morning, because so many of the papers do not have the story, and I want us to really talk about it. And the story about the NBC fine, the National Broadcasting Commission has imposed a fine of 5 million naira each on MultiChoice Nigeria Limited, owners of DSTV, Telecom Satellite Limited, TSTV, and NTA Star Times Limited for broadcasting a documentary by the BBC Africa Eye entitled Bandits, Warlords of Zamfara. And Nigerians are coming out, NBC. Now, my question is, in all of this, Nigerians are complaining that the government isn't doing so much expected on the issue of this banditry. NBC is government. Do you now become the judge and the jury in your case?
Again, I like to be very philosophical. You know, you remember the good book talked about a dispute between two women in the Bible, and they took their case to the king. One had a baby, the other was envious and went to steal the baby. And I said, "Oh, that's my baby. That's what, okay, let's take it to the king. Who is the owner of the baby? It belongs to me. It belongs to her." What did the king do? Okay, now there's no way the king will know what is going to be right at the end of the day. I'm going to cut the baby into two. When I cut the baby into two, I think that should be equitable for the two of you. One said, "That is the way to go." But the owner of the baby now then said, "Wait a minute. If you cut this baby into two, my baby will be dead." Says, "King, leave it to her." The king eventually now got the wisdom as to go through this maze.
Who's got the child?
NBC has statutory responsibility to take a decision on what they consider to be offensive. Oh, you are going to be given the warlords, okay, the bandits. Abu Sani came in Zamfara and said that my job is not to know how many people have killed. Just tell me, and I just go to kill them. I don't need to even have a qualm about it. Oh, this is now giving them, some kind of leeway to want to operate. But wait a minute. For so long, taking Zamfara to the extent that Batawale, the governor, openly and in defiance of extant convention, said, "My people, go out there, go and get guns to defend yourselves." It's getting so bad. And that only one man, maybe one man that we know in the public space, Shegumi, tells us that Not only is it that government knows where these people are, they know who they are. I also know who they are, and they know what they are asking for. And for the first time, communication came. We now have a clearer understanding of what is happening with the issue of terrorists, kidnappers, and bandits in Nigeria. We had thought all this while that it is Fulanization, it is Muslim, it is this and all that. We now understand that certain things had gone wrong at a particular point in time. We have been suspecting. And then the BBC, I now came to help us expose so that we can now get or gain
a clear picture,
gain a better understanding, so that we know how to direct our issues and affairs.
Exactly.
And these persons that have now brought this in and said that you just go ahead and ban them,
or give them the fine,
and cut your coat, cut your nose to be able to spite your face. It's like work done minus. I think, with due respect, I think it's an attempt to slay a snail with a sledgehammer. I don't think it is necessary. I think it should be rethought. I think it should be a window of a bit of an opportunity for us to now begin to engage the way we need to engage. We've been talking about carrot and stick. We've been talking about intel information. And if these people are the people that, Abu Sani, somebody somewhere will know Abu Sani. Well, they've said that the government people know about them. So if these are the paid mouths and hands and legs of government, then we are getting a kind of exposure.
Now, I
think it needs to be.
Let's even assume, because the point of the Nigerian Broadcasting Corporation, what they actually said was that they were glorifying banditry, as in encouraging banditry, going out to interview bandits, warlords. Now, let us assume that they actually did this, which was not supposed to be. Do we now throw the baby away with the water? Which
is exactly what I'm saying. I am interested in what my government have been able to communicate to us all this while. I am also privy to the fact that security matters is not something that you come out and, and expose. But what I see, what I feel, what most Nigerians see is that on a regular daily basis, we are being kidnapped, we are being killed, we are being, so many things going on, to the extent that these people that I believe the government know about are now saying, Mr. President, we are coming to kidnap you. What do you expect people like us to do?
And a few days later, we had the one of our governors saying that the president was not even aware of that he was the one. El-Rufai said it, that he was the one that brought the attention of the governor, the president to that.
An indicator that I am personally praying that should not be true, but I know it's wrong prayer. The functional prayer is that there is so much disconnect. How will El-Rufai say such a thing? In fact, without El-Rufai say such things, my kindergarten pupils will say, res ipso facto, if this is happening, therefore that won't be happening. If thieves have come in and they didn't break the door, whatever, they must have come through the roof. Or they must have borrowed. It's logical for you to think so. Okay, the situation is so bad that one is left without an iota of doubt that at high places, Jonathan said they were in his government, at high places, they know, they don't want us to know, they may not want us to know, and keep on perpetrating a situation. Will continue to pay ransom. Our girls will continue to be captured. Our boys will continue to be slaughtered. Our travelers will continue to, be kidnapped. Many of them, a 90-year-old, is still in the captors den. They are shooting them, they are maiming, they are killing, they are talking about
let's see. Let's hear.
They are going to Kuje prison and they are freeing their inmates. What does that portend?
Let's hear let's hear out the leadership of the Senate when they had the meeting with the service chiefs on the same issue of insecurity. My director, please, can you just help us with that package right now?
Born out of the fact that issues of national security must be seen from a collective perspective, and that whatever the situation is, there's always room for rubbing of minds to make contributions to the effect that we have a more secured environment where every Nigerian will have a sense or a feeling of security in truth, such that our individual and collective aspirations will be achieved. That quite a lot has happened, quite a lot has been done, quite a lot is being done to ensure that we improve on the security setting across the country. No one is leaving any stone unturned in redressing all the imbalances within the security environment.
There are, of course, several arguments whether the resources available to our armed forces and other security agencies are enough or not. Definitely not enough. I don't know of any country where there's enough, really. But even within the scarcity that we have, this administration and this Senate and National Assembly has always prioritized the security of our country. So this particular section of the interaction between us is to look into where we are today and probably this current present position where we are is most frightening, because it's like there's nowhere to hide or nowhere to go. It's like insecurity is everywhere, and especially if it is coming to the point of dislocating the security situation where the head of government or where the government headquartered. So we really have to review and see what more we have to do and how differently we have to do.
All I do is win. I wake up, I win. I close my eyes, and I win.
We got a emergency, girlfriend.
Keep up with me, come on, let's go. I'ma keep winning till the world stops spinning. Independent women, come on, now let's get it. I'ma keep winning till the world stops.
Wow, you look great. Did you just come from the salon?
Darling Superstar, braids that stay salon fresh no matter what.
Well, it's been meetings upon meetings. We've had one meeting to the other meeting. While praising the service chiefs for what they are doing, the Senate is saying that they are not doing enough. Of course, even the layman outside knows that a lot of things is being affected: economy, employment, the nation as a whole is being affected, which were things that were reiterated even at that meeting with the service chief before they went into a closed door meeting, which was not, which the details of the closed door meeting was not, unveiled to journalists for us to know, which is quite understandable in the sense that we cannot bring all the issues how to tackle security matters, all of them in the public eye. Do you think this meeting is going to make a difference? Or what really is different about this meeting from all the other meetings that we have been having in the past?
Kenny, Nigerians is got to a stage where, as adults, we must begin to tell ourselves home truth. And I think the young ones who are listening to me might have heard about an icon in music we call Fela. A few days ago, precisely August the 2nd, clocked 25 years of his passage. He released a song, and part of the song says, "Everybody run, run, run. See everybody scatter, scatter. Police they come, I mean, confusion everywhere. Truth needs to be told to everybody under the listening of my voice. There is confusion in the land. We are not safe. We have scant trust and confidence in the people that we have elected and who have appointed people to superintend over us, are confused, and they really don't know what they need to say. As much as I do not want to disparage constituted authority, I see some measure of selfishness on the part of our legislators. Now waking up, thank God they are waking up.
Probably because the battle is being brought to their doorstep.
Brought to their doorsteps, and they are now meeting the security chiefs. They are talking about, you have not done enough and all that. There is nobody that will say that we don't know that is what needs to be done. Okay? And over time, he's gone off. If it's the son of Musa, it's son of Nchieri, son of Yabode, that's been involved. We didn't see this level of anger and hunger. Or if it was done, it became too little, too late. My point is simple. The Yorubas have a saying, you leave the main gong cause that is causing your wahala, and then you are looking at the effects and trying to, see how you can take out with the effects when the source and the root is not taken off. The buck stops on the president of Nigeria's table, so call security chiefs, call them lately, before they decide to go on recess. They put a test statement to say that, the opposition at least, that they are going to impeach Mr. President. Even it's got to be a sabura to now wake up. Since they are waking up, Mr. President, you are in slumber. Your robe is burning while you are blowing, the fiddle. Things are not going on right. So all these are a bit of cosmetics that, well, my constituency, please let it be known that at least I'm trying to do something. We've left it too late. We've left it too open and gaping. But like they say, the next best time from what you needed to have done yesterday is not tomorrow, is now. So let's all collectively take a decision. My fear, however, is that I fear a situation where if this continues to fester, are we going to have this election in 2023? It's a big question. And like the sage Awolowo said, I pray that my fear will not manifest. That God, this fear that I say I'm having, make it just
pass away.
But the truth of what I have seen is an indicator that we have a ruling elite that have been self-centered, have been selfish, and should I just end this by saying they are looking at Sri Lanka. Perhaps they are looking for situations where, like the Sri Lanka example, God forbid again, I'm praying that it should not happen. I hope they wake up to the slumber, own up to the fact that they have run Nigeria aground. We have failed the youths, we've failed our women, we've failed our children, and the only thing that we do is say, we are sorry, and please, let's do an all-inclusive situation to now rescue our land, not what I am beginning to see.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Again, Kenny, after lamenting and lamenting and lamenting, I thought I heard it. I was not sure if it was a rumor, but it came from your mouth. While you were reading the newspaper, there was one of the headlines that you read, that the federal government had budgeted 2.5 billion for the Badagry deep sea
port. Yes.
That is good. That is great good news. That is, at least, we thank God, great good news, and I hope the implementation will be driven down to the ground so that we can take away all this stress that we have at the Apapa ports, and Nigeria can continue to now then.
Honestly, Nigerians are really, really looking forward to the Badagry deep sea port, and I'm sure that when that happens, it's going to relieve a lot of things, and it's also going to improve the economy of the country in a great and mighty way. Okay, on that note, this point, we will go on a short break. When we return, we will continue with the review of the papers. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Join us for a unique event founded on true Islamic principles. Witness a global community united behind one global leader. An international event uniting mankind. Tune in to MITV for exclusive coverage of Jalsa Salana United Kingdom 2022. The annual convention of Ahmadiyya Muslim community. Watch live coverage on the 5th, 6th, and 7th of August 2022 at the following timings.
Music is fuel that fires up our souls. Today, African music has a dominant place on the world map. This massive music movement creating waves across the globe.
I have seen the evolution and the growth of this industry.
But every movement starts with a story. And the best place to start any story is at the very beginning.
There's a primordial energy that can only have come from Africa. Do you have continuity or association plan for your business?
Has anyone shared the concept of sustainability with you?
What about the need to protect the rights of minority shareholders?
What are those ingredients germane to having effective meetings?
For these and many more, tune into Corporate Governance Platform every Thursday on MITV, your darling station, on DSTV 255 and UHF 43 at 4:30 p.m.
Corporate Governance Platform is your best medium for informative and educative strategies for the practice of the corporate governance profession.
Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, ICSAN, the hub of governance professionals.
Welcome back. At this point, we cannot, the issue of insecurity in the nation cannot be overemphasized. And on this note, we want to also open up our phone lines. You can send in text messages, WhatsApp messages, or you can even call in. Let's hear your opinion about what is going on and what you feel what you feel can be done about all of this. But we will really appeal that when you make your calls in, please kindly be civil with your contribution as we continue with the review of the papers this morning. Okay, I go straight. Next is the Punch newspaper, and it's coming with rising terror threats. National Assembly leaders fret. Rally security chiefs for protection. It's all nothing more than insecurity. Nothing. Everybody is on their toes now. Everybody is shaking. I will come back to that later. We'll talk about even the southwestern part of the country. Gone are the days, maybe those of us here in the southwestern part of the country, we used to think that we are safe. Oh. But now the story is not the same thing. We understand. Several times, at the border towns, we have seen cases of where the Amoteku, they are stopped vehicles coming into the southwestern part of the country. These guys carrying foodstuff and all of that, and beneath it they have seen ammunitions and a whole lot of things. So it is here, it is everywhere, it is at the seat of power. So nobody seems to be safe in the country now. And the National Assembly leaders also, they're also in threat now. Senate holds marathon meeting with military, police, DSS chiefs. 6 solution. Attacks on Abuja, daring terrorists no more afraid, says House of Representatives. IG meets police commissioners. Insecurity most frightening now. That's coming from the Senate president yesterday. I'm sure it's the fright that made him call that emergency meeting. There's a saying that you never know what the other person is going through until you experience it. And I think the shoe is beginning to pinch them in the same place it's pinching every other Nigerians, and everybody is somehow afraid of his life. Honestly, when we have the top security personnel being, waylaid, being kidnapped, being killed, being maimed, and all of that, then I don't want to use on national TV a word that will bring in more fear into the life of people out there. Okay, we have federal government fails to disburse over 11 billion naira fund. That's minors. Those are the minors talking there. And Lagos man tricks baby mama, disappears with 3-year-old twins.
You know the concept of Alibaba and the 40 thieves. So you are looking to stories of the 40 thieves, part of the 40 thieves. So many things that is going on under, and we are as good as some of the leaders we voluntarily elect. And so that's part of some of the things that we are facing. And in any case, there is a psychologist that actually spoke about the fact that if we want to get development, allow our rulers to experience some of the things we experience. Let them come and live in the outskirts. By the time you see that happening, water will be flowing, lights will improve, education and enlightenment will be better on now. Their feet have been put to the fire now, and I can see that they are doing everybody run. So that is the way it is. That they are being subsidized in virtually everything. Many of them are not using their monies or their money's worth to get a lot of the things that they get, either what they eat, how they travel, fitting fat on the state. If they have to pay through their hard-earned money, not allocated money, hard-earned money, you see that we're going to get quantum of development and humanity from our rulers.
Okay, protest as gunmen killed abducted Lautech student and hotelier. And pay rise, federal government excludes state varsities, ASU cakes. Agreement not binding on states. That's a statement from the federal government this morning. And outrage as Buhari gets Niger Republic 1.1 billion naira SUVs. Government defense action says it is in Nigeria's best interest. And we have a report that Nigeria's budget deficit is 30 trillion naira in 7 years. Oyinlola Makinde tipped to lead Atiku's campaign. That's about politics right there. I would like the director to please put the phone number on the screen so that we can have contributions from our viewers this morning. The number to call is 0810-851-6644. All right.
Our hearts and minds go to that student and the hotelier. After taking the ransom, then decide to kill. And Kenny, I don't know if
it's gone that bad.
If you watch that documentary,
the BBC
documentary, when Abu Sani gloatfully said that, as far as I'm concerned,
it's just to kill.
There are people that if they want to slaughter ram or they want to slaughter chicken, they are blood curdles. These people are not curdled in any way.
At times you wonder if blood runs in their veins.
Onto that, drug infested, which means it's so bad. My heart goes to the family of that young boy and the hotelier, and it just tells you that it is everybody run. Confusion everywhere. And we may have to invoke beyond prayer that this is now the time to work so that we can install a government of our dreams who will do what we need to do and who will not sell us out cheap to bandits and terrorists.
The Nation newspaper this morning, PDP Board of Trustees fails to resolve Atiku Wike rift. Trustees divided over Ayusak call. I take that again. Trustees divided over Ayusak's call by Rivers Governor's men. That's still on Atiku and Wike matter. Oshiomhole dismisses roll over Muslim ticket. I was thinking we have gone past that. Are we still there?
Yes. The truth of the matter is APC made their choice and decision. I think it's something we should live with. But I know that Oshiomhole was on one of the tabloids about yesterday.
I think even 2 days ago.
Okay, all right. And 2 days ago, and he was specifically asked. I think my former governor, Adams Oshiomhole, should, I think he does, realize that that is what APC have gone on to choose. Let's move on from there. But if you didn't ask him, that is the point. Because I remember, if you didn't ask him, oh, you've done your Muslim ticket and all that, what are your plans? What are some of the plans? But part of some of the plans is one of the reasons why he has been chosen to deputize with Lalong, you know, for the campaign council. Those are some of the things we should be talking about. And again, who is at fault now?
I think we should begin to, like Honorable Minister for Works said while he was on a platform granting an interview, said that we should take religion back to where it belongs. You know, I think we should, it's high time we take a religion out of the public spaces. Honestly, I so much agree with him. You were saying something yesterday that you just got to realize that I'm a minister in the church. Like I say, it's just, it's not, religion should not come, you know, in between my job. It shouldn't come in between my responsibility, my civic responsibility. It shouldn't come in between the way I deal with people. You understand? And I feel that is how it should be. When I see you, or who am I? First, I'm a Nigerian. I am a Nigerian first before every other thing. So I think we should begin to, you know.
When you wave down a taxi and you are on an emergency to go to the hospital, do you begin to find out if that taxi driver is a far oracle person, or is a Muslim, or is a Christian, or is a Buddhist?
The simple fact at that point is that he is a driver, is competent to be in front of the wheels, and it will take you to your destination.
And when you get to the emergency ward and they need to pass blood, or, you know, into you, do you now ask the nurse, are you a Muslim or a Christian, and all that kind of stuff? I'm only trying to accentuate. Or you went into a plane, you didn't even see the pilot. You don't know whether it's a
which
woman.
Happens in most cases.
You don't know if it's a man. You don't know if it's a youth, if it's an elderly person. The point is that you got into the plane, and I think clearly we need to take religion out of competence for delivery, whilst at the same time being somehow sensitive. Now, this is my point. Yes, if we now have and close our eyes to that, there should also be symbolic, compensatory things that should happen. For instance, my thinking cap tells me that if you are going to have a Muslim ticket, a Muslim eventually, the Senate presidency, all things being equal, will strive, I say will strive to make sure that Christians, that should be part of the bargain, should now be writing out their, you know, their demands that should, in case this Muslim ticket now sees the light of day, how do we guarantee the rights and responsibility of Christians? I go back to that BBC expose. We are now seeing that the problems that we have, or at least I am getting educated, to know that the problems I have is not a matter of Nigerian Muslim against Nigerian Christians, a Nigerian Fulani against the rest of Nigeria. It's a matter of people who have been allowed directly to come in to do and ply their trade against the written tenets of all the holy books that you can think of, and they kill Christians, no doubt about it, and they kill Muslims, no doubt about it. We need to be a bit much more careful and circumspect. So as they are the Senate, whether it's this and that, the ball stops on one person's table. And if that person is not capable of getting the right conductor, the right passengers in, and the car will continue to cough in the wilderness to come and let us continue to suffer what we are suffering. The driver might have to take a decision whether he look for another driver or maybe step aside and go and rest at the back and get somebody else to be able to do it, so that we can stop the hemorrhage that is afflicting Nigeria. I am very, very sure that, I say this very solemnly, that the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, whether it is self-imposed, whether it's aware, or whatever it is, cannot wake up on a regular daily basis and smile that his countrymen are being treated the way they are being treated. It's not possible. It is not possible. I believe should not be possible. And if we see semblance of that, we have a responsibility to help him, like Sigmund Freud said, to help him ease himself out like the mad cow in a China shop without necessarily bringing down the whole of the China wares over and above what we are all looking for. I have a strong belief that Nigeria is going to rise again. Our youths, our women are physically challenged. I came across physically challenged people and I saw A1 love with these people.
Yes.
And I saw the level of intelligence.
And I saw intellect.
And I'm asking, why is it? And then, something just came to me that, okay, you are asking, why is it? Why does the rain fall? You do nothing, the rain falls, and then things spring out of the ground. In other areas, it is landslide upon landslide. We have been blessed. Only the thing that we have not been blessed with is our capacity to be able to elect our leaders who will take us from this 40 years and 40.
Honestly, you
take us to the promised land.
You just brought that back to me right now, and I can also picture, what I saw yesterday, and I learned to say I love you even from them.
Yes. Okay,
from them, yeah. This is it. You needed to see if we can, as Nigerians.
And I did it, and they said, they were trying to. Do you know what it means?
Yes.
Then they took a piece of paper. And
yes,
said,
I love you.
I love you.
Yes.
So
they were just said some set of loving people.
You could see.
Yes.
Nigerians react to love.
Yes.
And when we are going to clap, how do we clap? They showed us how to clap. Oh my God.
Yes. You see, if talking about insecurity, I think that in Nigeria, that is one thing that is lost in our family, in the family setting, in our family, gathering. Let me just pick this call right now. We have a call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, ma'am.
Welcome to the show.
Yes, ma'am.
Please, kindly put down the volume of your TV set.
I would like to speak to Mr. Fatunke.
Okay, he can hear you.
Is my mention for movie at Lekki?
Oh.
Who calling from Aja?
What did you call your name?
Buki, Sunny.
Okay.
Oh, Buki.
Okay.
Wow. That was the ages ago, Buki.
Thank you so much. You can talk to him after the show.
Good morning, Buki.
All right.
Remain safe, eh?
Yes.
All right, so I think that is one of the things that is being, like I was saying, love, the bond. I can remember so vividly that I used to. Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Thank you for calling in. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm from.
Please put the volume of your TV set down and listen through the phone, not your TV.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I'm from Lagos, by 12.
The volume of your TV set is still on. Put it down totally so I can hear you well.
So I'm from Lagos, by 12, yeah.
Okay, what's your name?
What I said,
your name, please.
I believe that man talking with you is a Muslim. It's only so much for the.
He's a Christian.
Our church is Christian and Muslim in Nigeria. But if you see the end of the day when he was in ministry role, try to separate us Muslim, but people did not allow. You see, if we want this country to be peace, they all do Christian and Muslim, so that our nation will move.
All right.
But now I am telling you that this Muslim APC will not go anywhere as far everybody has been decided to bring you to the power.
All right,
PDP is not party.
Okay.
So that's what I can say.
Thank you so much for your contribution, your opinion there. Everybody is entitled to his own opinion. And I must say that Mr. Fatuke is a Christian.
I'm a Christian, and I have been a beneficiary of being saved. My life was saved by Muslims when I was in Ahmadu Bello University. I also can tell you, sir, that, and I understand where you are coming from. Don't get me wrong. I can also tell you that Muslims in Southwest have been protected by Christians,
yes.
you know, because of rampaging. The point is, if we continue to behave the way we are behaving, remember the Sosoliso crash of November 10 and 2005, with those students coming, there were, many of them were even, as I heard, were dating Muslim girls and vice versa. And you could imagine, like I always say, the white key and the black key, when they play a harmonious tune, you get an orchestra at the end of the day. I agree with you, sir. Yes, we shouldn't be insensitive. Yes, we need, at the end of the day, to allow the politicians to do what they need to do to get their votes. We put our own thinking cap and put their feet to the fire and say there are certain things you dare not do. I also met somebody yesterday who is from Bayelsa, South, and he's the special assistant to Alhaji Shetima.
Okay, let me hold your thoughts there. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
What's your name and where are you calling from? Thank you for calling us.
Yes, my name is Dennis. I'm calling from Ifakoija, Ijushaga.
Okay, let's hear your opinion.
My opinion is that if you see what is going on in this country, the issue of tribalism in this country is getting out of hand. You can see it's a lack of law. If we love ourselves in this country, the issue of Muslim ticket, people will not be discussing it with you like that. You know, for example, when you go for some offices, before you do your interview, they will ask you, where tribe are you? Where do you come from? And when you mention that you are a Christian, sometimes they will not hire you. You know, the love is not there. So this thing is getting out of hand. That's why you see now the Christians they are now complaining that okay, there's no the VP is not from the Christian. If we have a qualified person to do the job and the person that can deliver, and the person is qualified for the job and let the person do it. If we love ourselves in this country, we will not be complaining all those kind of things because of the tribalism. You are not from this, you are not from that, and this is my people and this is your people. So that's the issue. And if we continue doing like that, things will continue to get worse and worse in this country. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your contribution on the show, and I think that's just the spirit. I remember at the time we were growing up. I grew up in Festac. I spent my youth. We were the kids of the Festac 70s. The Festac 77, and you know Festac then was filled with all of the tribes. We had the Hausa, we had the Igbos, we had Yoruba, we had Ishekiri, we had in my close alone, we had about 15 ethnic groups all together. And you realize that you pick this language, you see Mebone, you pick Calabar, you pick different languages. My next door neighbors, the 3 neighbors we lived with were Igbos, and made it possible for me to speak Igbo fluently, and we all lived in love. Even the Hausas we talk about now, those days they were those that we, fetch water for us. They come, they dispose our bin, they come close to us, they come into our houses, they come, we feed them, it was just one bond, and I dream of a Nigeria like Can we get that kind of Nigeria?
You need to now get into the diaspora and see our boys and our girls in diaspora. Sometimes you see them, you like whoever it is you are seeing before you decide whether he or she is a Muslim or a Christian. But the truth
because
must be
the
told,
first binding force is that he or she is a Nigerian.
Intelligent enough, you know, your blood group is in contaminity and all that. You can speak, you know, at the end of the day, you get the best of the best from one another. But the truth must also be told. It has always been like that. You just mentioned your first stack, call you first stack lady. It has always been like that until worsened. We have to be to you know, to knock the nail into the coffin. Yeah, right. Until about 7 years with the present regime, they took us back, and I think deliberately their actions and inactions is festering a lot of this distrust that we have for one another. I just told you that some time ago, back as an undergraduate, I would have been killed. I knew next to nothing. A Katsina person came all the way, walked with his leg onto my hostel in Danfodio. He was in Den Suleiman Hall. He walked around 2, 3 a.m. to come and give me a hint and asked me if I had enough money. You know, the bursary system then, they had a lot of money. I said, I didn't have money. And he gave me some money and said, look, hold it, you may need this money. The following day, it was La ilaha illallah, and the campus under Angu Abdullahi as, you know, vice chancellor at that time.
Okay.
And that was what saved me and a few others to escape from the campus.
Let me pick this last call before we leave this morning. Hello, good morning. Thank you for calling in.
Good morning, my sister. I'm Kingsley calling from Anthony.
All right, Kingsley from Anthony. Quickly tell us your opinion this morning.
I want to thank you very much for the opportunity you're giving to us to express our own points.
Thank you.
See, the problem we are having in this country is tribalism and religion. If we can do away with this, Nigeria will move forward.
Okay.
And as this country is going on now, what we need now is somebody that can rescue us and save us, despite the fate of the patient, whether Christian or Muslim. When we are looking at the candidate we have on the ground now, we can point out that this one can do this one can do it, cannot do this. If the person is from any part of the country and we see that they had that quality to deliver us, why not allow that person to come and deliver Nigeria from the problem we are facing now? That's what I'm saying, please.
Thank you so much.
Let the whole Nigeria come out en masse and they say no to tribalism, say no to religion, fanaticism, which have been killing us.
Thank you so much.
Let us bring out somebody who can deliver us and help us, despite our religion, despite from our background, wherever we are coming from.
All right.
That's what I'm saying, ma.
Thank you so much. I think on that note, we
very good point.
Yes, very good and valid point this morning. And on that note, we say where we call it a wrap this morning. And thank you. I want to say very big thank you to my guest in the studio this morning, the elder statesman, Mr. Akin Fatunke. Thank you for coming on to the studio this morning.
Thank you very much. I'm still a youth. I have a youth mind, and I believe that we youths, we are going to get our country back on right course. All
right, before I leave this morning, I want to say a very happy birthday to Shukpo Risika, the OC Human Rights Area in Ijede, Ikorodu. Greetings is coming from DJ Adex. DJ Adex is saying happy birthday to you this morning, and then from everyone on Bumper Breakfast this morning, have a good birthday and enjoy your day. Bumper Breakfast continues tomorrow. Till we come your way, same time, same station tomorrow. My name is Yinka Kenny. For now, it is bye-bye.